What's it about all of us old club and music guys that drove us into crypto?
I think it's because, again, it's the same thing. Like, we want to be on the cutting edge. We want to do something different, right? And honestly, crypto's got that great vibe, right? Like, I mean, look, we're here in Miami. We got people riding bulls, right?
Whoa, nice save, actually.
There we go. It is about the hype, right? Crypto is a meme, right? And so we're exactly the hottest clubs, back in New York and back in the day, right? And just like that, we want to give away, instead of coming to the club, let's give away 1 Bitcoin for riding the bull.
That's dope.
This episode is sponsored by Bullish and Vuori. Please stay tuned for more information on both of these amazing companies later in the episode.
Centralized exchanges offer quite a bit of functionality and familiar platform to the exchanges that we've traded on in other assets, but not your keys, not your coins. On the flip side, decentralized exchanges allow you to custody your own assets, but they generally lack the functionality that you get on centralized exchanges. Well, that's changing now with exchanges like Bullish. Chris Briseno from Bullish broke down for me why it's so important to have this perfect mix of centralized and decentralized functionality, and why that's the future for us of how we're going to trade and invest in our assets, and also, maybe more importantly, to earn yield as liquidity providers. First of all, we're at Bitcoin 2020. This place is absolutely bananas, and we've got
the
dudes bull riding.
I know, it's crazy, right?
How'd you come up with the bull?
So it's actually, okay. So we heard that they were going to actually have a mechanical bull. And I was like, we have to get it. It's fantastic. Like, what better way for Bullish to come out and introduce itself to the world than actually sponsoring the bull at Bitcoin 2020? And so that's really what we're here about. This is really awesome. Bullish's coming out party.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been, as we're recording, a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we launched almost 4 months ago, and no one really knows who we are. We're not listed on any aggregators, and so it's like we're already a huge exchange, and nobody even knows that.
But that's intentional.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Actually, it is.
Yeah,
yes,
talk about that.
Yeah, we really strive to sort of build this business, and we're focused on institutional clients first, right? And it's really to sort of to get the volumes to really grow the exchange, and so. Now is really, we feel like we're at the stage where we want to let everyone know that we're ready and that we're here.
So that's sort of like the opposite approach that I think we generally see in crypto, which is like create a shit ton of hype.
Exactly.
And then hope that we can catch up with products.
Exactly. And we've done the exact opposite, right? So we built a solid product, we made sure the product worked, and now we're hyping the crap out of it.
But you guys have crazy volume already.
We do. We have really crazy volume. So we've actually done over 14 billion in volume already in just 4 months, right? And when it comes to the BTC USD pair, we're basically just below. We're number 4, right? So we're actually below FTX we're below FTX. We're below Coinbase and below Binance.
But those all switch anyways.
Yeah, and we're already above Kraken and Gemini, which is fantastic, right? In just 4 months. That's crazy.
Right, but that means it can't be retail.
No.
Right, because
no, not at all.
That's literally just a numbers game.
Exactly. So really, most of our client base right now is all institutions, right? We're open to retail. We're actually in already 40 plus jurisdictions, but it really is institutionally focused right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and so how do you build? I mean, I guess that's a huge differentiator in this business, right? I mean, you're the head of marketing. Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of a unique challenge.
Yeah, no, I would say with Bullish is, so like most crypto, right? It's crypto started off with the people, right? We've sort of done the opposite, right? So we started off with the big players first, and our plan is to then go out to everyone else, and really give them an opportunity to actually take part in that huge market action that's already happening, right? We really see ourselves as becoming a really important part of the market structure, of the crypto ecosystem.
Right, and it's funny because I don't know, how long have you been in crypto?
Since 2016.
Okay, so literally the same as me.
Yeah.
So you remember in 2016, 17, we had this narrative of the institutions are here.
Yeah,
we were so wrong.
That's what got me to leave Bloomberg, right? So I was at Bloomberg. It's pretty funny. I was saying we need to do actually a crypto index exchange. Everyone thought I was crazy. So I left, started my own crypto company. And that's exactly what happened. We hit crypto winter. But I think we're here. I think we're finally at that tipping point, right? The institutions are already here. They're coming in. We actually have a lot of big institutional clients. And actually at this conference, there's actually, even this is really retail focused, there's already tons and tons of institutions here, right? You know, the Goldmans, the JP Morgans, they're actually here walking around. You can see them in their trader vests. Right? They're already here.
You can still find them.
Exactly.
Even pick them out of the crowd. Come on, guys.
Exactly.
Like, it's like Steve Buscemi walking in. Hello, fellow kids. Like, whatever with his skateboard.
Exactly.
I feel like that's us, though, because you know, we've been around.
Yeah, those are the weird Goldman guys in the corner.
I'm currently wearing the most comfortable clothing on the planet. Are you? Unless you're wearing Vuori, then your answer is obviously no. Guys, if you've listened to my live streams, then you've probably heard me rant and rave about this incredible company. We love them so much that we reached out and did a sponsorship deal after I've already been talking about them for months. Yes, it's athletic wear, but you can wear it almost anywhere, and it's the majority of my wardrobe. Seriously, I wear these clothes all the time. If they would make a tuxedo, I would have worn it to my wedding. And you can feel great about wearing these clothes as well because they're offsetting 100% of both their carbon and plastic footprint. Guys, wearing Vuori is an investment in your happiness and your comfort. I am serious. These clothing are incredible. Get 20% off of your first purchase at vuori.com/melker. That's VUORI.com/MELKER. If you're not wearing these clothes yet, you need to go get them right now. Have you ever been trading crypto and during bouts of high volatility had your exchange go completely offline or seen the order books go thin and have absolutely no liquidity for your trade? I know that you have. It's happened to every single crypto trader, but it's not an issue anymore thanks to Bullish. Bullish is a powerful new exchange for digital assets that offers deep liquidity, automated market making, and industry-leading security. Combining the innovations of DeFi with the regulated environment of traditional finance, Bullish empowers users to trade with confidence across variable market conditions while secure in a regulated environment that's backed by multi-billion-dollar liquidity contributions from the Bullish Treasury. Follow @Bullish on Twitter or visit bullish.com/melker to learn more.
All right, so you have a crazy story, right? And it's similar to mine.
Yep.
I know that I was a DJ and sort of music producer.
Yep.
You were a Doorman club promoter.
Yeah, so that's how I started off. I was actually a club promoter, door guy. Did like Limelight, Tunnel Club back in the day.
The church.
Early 90s, exactly. And then got into. Then I became an early web tech guy. Got into that, and then eventually actually got into Bloomberg. Actually doing a startup within a big company. Actually one of the first robo-advisors called Bloomberg Black, which is pretty crazy. So then got into fintech, and then from there got into crypto.
So was that just sort of like a job evolution, or was it at some point you orange pilled yourself, or somebody orange pilled you and you said, I need to do?
I would say actually I always like being on the cutting edge, right? So I always want to be the guy who's involved in the next thing. And so again, crypto, we're here. That's what we're doing now. So that's definitely what pushed me to get into the space. And I said that, sort of doing that from the beginning, right? I always want to be at the hottest, coolest, newest clubs. I also want to be in the hottest, newest tech.
So I don't know when's the last time you were like at Limelight or the Tunnel.
Well, Limelight's now a shopping thing. It's totally ridiculous, dude.
Right. So I had DJ'd at both of those places way back in the day at some point, and then I was doing some Food Network event in my later DJ years, and they were like, you come to this venue and whatever, and I realized it was the Tunnel. And I started having these crazy Funk Flex flashbacks and like whatever. So and then Limelight became the thing. It's crazy to see what happened in New York Limelight.
It's so terrible, right? And the other thing is there's so limited cabaret licenses, right? So just to throw those away to make some shopping centers ridiculous.
What's it about all of us old club and music guys that drove us into crypto?
I think it's because, again, it's the same thing. Like, we want to be on the cutting edge. We want to do something different, right? And honestly, crypto's got that great vibe, right? Look, we're here in Miami. We got people riding bulls, right?
Whoa, nice save, actually.
Oh, yeah. There we go. And come on.
We got you, man, on tape.
And again, it's it's the same thing. It is about the hype, right? Crypto is a meme, right? And so we're exactly the hottest clubs, back in New York and back in the day, right? And just like that, we want to give away, instead of coming to the club, let's give away 1 Bitcoin for riding the bull.
Yeah, it's awesome. But you left Bloomberg, which is arguably the centerpiece of every institutional legacy system that there is.
Right.
Right? Those are the guys selling everyone a terminal that they need.
Exactly.
But now those guys are following.
Oh yeah,
Like you could have stayed at Bloomberg and eventually gotten to crypto.
Yeah, like 4.5, 5 years later. Yeah, exactly. Right when late to the game, not knowing what's going on, right, and be one of those guys bumbling around asking like, okay, well, what's the next big thing in crypto? Not understanding the DeFi space. Again, exactly. Like you want to get in early, right, and really understand the space. Just like you and I did.
Yeah. It was like a forced transition. I'm just too old for that. My body, my brain couldn't handle it anymore. Right. It has nothing to do with the fact that I just got too old and nobody wanted to give me gigs. Nothing to do. Totally nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Scott, like I was bored. Like at Bloomberg, like it was just, I always wanted to be in the next thing, and I was bored. I felt like they were just going to take too long to get in the space, and so this is really my chance to come in and get in. And Bullish is a great opportunity, right? Bullish is really ahead of the game, right? It's funny. I often, like, people ask me, like, how do you see Bullish with the other exchanges, right? So I think of Coinbase as Gen 1, right? Really focused on retail on the street, right? FTX, exactly, yeah. Like if we're gonna go to the 90s browser model, right? It's like it's basically Yahoo, right?
Right.
Then we have like FTX, which is more like it's like all the next searches that came up next. And I would really say Bullish is like Google, right? Like we're this third gen crypto exchange. We're the next new thing. We're bringing the best of DeFi, right? But giving it that regulated framework that it really needs to make it accessible to a much larger audience, right? And so that's really the future, right? We're going to be somewhere in between, right? So DeFi is going to continue to be out there, go first, innovate, right? And some of us are going to have to sort of take that innovation back and make it accessible to both institutions and also, let's be frank, like down at the end of the day, your grandmother, she's going to get into crypto. It's going to have to be in a regulated, secure fashion that she understands. She's not going to she's not going to get a MetaMask, download a MetaMask wallet, got rug pulled, understand gas.
Well, she will get rug pulled if she gets it.
She's going to absolutely get rug pulled. She can even figure out how to get her wallet to work, right? But yeah, she's not going to understand, how to work in that world, right? So we need to have that balance, right? If we want to have everyone access crypto.
Right. So from the marketing side, so people obviously, we all know that centralized exchanges, people feel like are relatively safe. They're familiar with the order book. They have this robust orders, but not your keys, not your coins.
Exactly.
And then you have the decentralized side. You talk about where it's like you have your security, but you have no functionality. You guys are changing that. And you are obviously at risk of being your own bank and suffering a rug pull. So how do you guys thread that needle of offering the best of both worlds without, I guess, suffering the downsides of both?
Yeah. So really, that comes down to it's the fact that we are using an AMM, right? Like Uniswap, right? SushiSwap, any of the swaps, right? And we have
name a food.
Yeah, exactly.
Put swap.
Exactly. But again, we have a regulated framework, right? And again, we also have our own liquidity pools, right? And in fact, I'll actually even put it one better, right? So we also put our own assets into it. We have about $3 billion in the liquidity pools of our own money, right? That's how much we believe in this product. I don't know anyone else out in this space who's actually doing that, right? So we really do eat our own cooking, and we really believe in the product that much.
$3 billion's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah.
And so I've done the walkthrough of the platform, obviously, and it's a really interesting model on how people can earn yield in the by providing liquidity.
Yep.
Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah. So I say Bullish has actually got a really interesting product. It's not really a yield product; it's really an earn product, right? And so the thing with Bullish is it actually lets you participate in our liquidity pools, right? So you're actually sharing in the trading fees that the pools are generating, right? And I'll add one even better on that, right? We're not going to pay you in some weird, shitty, random crypto token. We're actually going to pay you in whatever you're putting in the pool. So it's actually USD, for example, USD to BTC, right? So you're going to get back actually dollars and Bitcoin. So that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and I think on that side, one of the things I was really impressed with when I did the walkthrough is that we have all these ways to sort of earn yield in crypto.
Right.
But you don't know what they're doing to earn that yield for you, right? It goes in, but then like even if you actually check the wallets, you see that your coins go out to somewhere, and they're doing something, right? And so they might be actively, literally trading your assets to earn the yield. I mean, this is very transparent and obvious, right? Like I'm a liquidity provider. I know exactly the coins are staying here.
Exactly. No, you totally know it, Scott. That's the thing. Exactly. We're not lending it out to some. We're not letting out to some random platform or some third party, right? And you're not staking your tokens and knowing where they're going, what pools are getting mixed in, what other assets they're being commingled with. Like, you actually know exactly where your assets are. They're totally safe. right? You don't have to worry about it. And you're actively sharing in these trading fees, right? And really, because we have all these big institutions already here, right? It really is the real market making, for the market, right? And so, really actively being in it, right?
But your average person can do it.
Exactly that, yeah, exactly that.
And so, you're the marketing guy for a very institutionally built exchange, right? The biggest money in the world can come here, can participate, but you still got to build hype.
Yeah,
right? We still got to do this.
And we're still crypto. I mean, so we're going to do the bull and we're going to give away a Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's the longest that anyone's done the bull?
So right now,
yet?
1 minute, 50 seconds.
That is
it's
incredible.
Pretty impressive.
So anything I missed on the product that's worth noting that's definitely different? Because listen, like we're in an environment now, there's a lot of exchanges.
Yep.
Right? It's a lot of exchanges. You guys have done it the right way, built it from the back, but how do you
I would say one of the biggest things also about Bullish is really we're bringing market maturity, right? So because we have such deep liquidity, right? Because we've actually put that $3 billion we mentioned, right, to work in our liquidity pools, right? We have deep liquidity, and so when you if you want to come and buy, right, that liquidity is there, it's going to be provided, right, and you're going to be able to really execute at scale, right? I've even jokingly said, we haven't actually put this out on any marketing, but we're an OTC desk killer, right? Because you can actually buy at such scale, and it's not going to move the needle on the market, right? If you go to these like traditional central limit order book exchanges, and you go put a big order in, you hear about these stories, the guy who buys $1 million, million in BTC, right? And the market goes
1 extra zero. My bad. The fat finger.
Exactly. And so again, that's another big benefit of Bullish, right? Is that because we have such deep liquidity, we're not going to move the market price when you do, you buy a big order.
That's interesting because that's not just good for you as a trader in size. That's good for the market because you're not not crashing the market.
Exactly. And that's what I mean by price stability, right? And maturity of the market, right? And I think we're going to see this happen more and more, right? As the crypto markets mature, we're going to have more of that stability that comes with time.
I just love the crossover between sort of centralized and decentralized. It's funny, I think that people view this polar, you got to be decentralized or centralized, and most of what works is probably like on a sliding scale in between.
Oh, exactly.
That you can't build an institutional grade product that Goldman Sachs is going to want to use that's purely DeFi.
No, exactly. They will never go. They need the regulated framework, right? So that's exactly it, right? And also to be frank, they need the liquidity, right? Because they want to be. These guys are not buying, a couple satoshis, right? They're buying, big orders of Bitcoin or other crypto assets.
Yeah, man. Well, this is an incredible coming out party. You guys have absolutely nailed it. I love you. He got me into the club last night. I was out there. It was like Studio 54. Velvet robe. Who the hell are you? You can tell that he had experience.
We actually did blow up all the crypto party channels, and like a bunch of our like, we can't get into the Bullish party. The line's way too long. We have to go to some other lame party.
So, guy, this is your guy. If you ever need to get in, this
just
summer.
Let me know.
I can't wait to see. With this, you're only a few weeks into the marketing. I can't wait to see when you kick this into full gear.
Scott. We'll have to talk again at the end of the year.
All right, well, that's what I like to say. It's like, let's do a 6-month, yearly, 18-month update.
Let's do it.
Because it's always either we're dead wrong, like when it's like price predictions and stuff, or it's like way beyond our expectations.
Exactly.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. It was great, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you haven't already left a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please do that now. Spotify just added ratings, so please go ahead and click that 5-star. I'll see you guys next time.